Just got done with practice. We're here at registration at the Bass Pro Shops, and I think there's going to be a lot of spotted bass caught in this tournament, and it's probably going to take about 12 pounds a day to make the cut. Things to throw, a lot of jigging spoons, crankbaits, drop shots, shaky heads. I think a key thing is going to be getting some bigger largemouth off the docks later in the day after you get some good spots, but I think that's how the tournament's going to go.
You're on.
Okay, I'm Guy Eaker, and this is my home lake, Lake Norman. And this is one time, and I don't really fish that much in the summertime at Lake Norman. But I'm a river fisherman, and nothing don't happen. That's probably where I'm going to be. If they pull a little bit of current, I think I can catch them. And if they don't pull current, it's going to be a little tough. I got a couple of ditches that I think I can go catch some decent fish. But again, I'm really not what you call a summertime fisherman, a deep water fisherman. It seems like the fish are not all that deep to begin with. A lot of guys I've been talking to are saying they can't catch them deep. Bait fishing down there, and I think when the water temperature gets this hot, you lose your oxygen content down deep, and actually the fish will come back up in shallow water. But I won't be fishing deep. I'll be fishing anywhere from about 2 foot to probably 12 foot. And hopefully maybe I can catch a limit and be pretty good.
Hey, I'm Todd Auten, and this week on Lake Norman we're having the PAA tournament, and first day of practice for me was pretty good, but you know how it is here, you can't never go back to the same place twice and catch them, but you know, second day is okay, but it got a lot tougher, and you know, the third day I just didn't even go out. I said I don't want to, you know, jinx myself and get it any worse, but I think it could be a tournament, you know, it's going to be pretty tough, but I think 10 pounds a day will be real strong here. Anybody catches anything over that, they'll be up there in the top 5.
I'm Mark Rose, Strike King Pro staff member. Here fishing the PAA event on Lake Norman. We're in the middle of summertime, and it seems to be a little tougher than it was when we were here in the spring on the FLW. There's a lot of fish in this lake, though. It's got a ton of fish. I'm catching a lot of fish, but I'm having a little bit of a size issue right now. I haven't been shallow. I think that's how this tournament will be won. But I've stayed out in, you know, 25 to 40 foot of water. Even caught some day out in 60 foot of water. And I've just been drafting fish out there and dropping on them and looking at them. I can just catch a ton of fish, and I keep fishing and fishing and fishing, thinking I'm going to find a wad of those good 2.5, 3 pound spots that I know this thing has got. It's loaded with good spots. I just haven't found that yet. I'm only catching, you know, I'll catch 20 fish and only have 1 keeper. So it's going to be tough on me. I think the guys that are fishing shallow are going to do it on this one. After 3 days of fishing out deep, I wish I would have gone shallow. I may even back up and punt and go shallow, but I think 10 pounds a day is about what it's going to take to have a solid tournament in this one, with 12 pounds a day probably winning it.
Elias, supposed to be a professional bass fisherman, but after 2.5 days on the water, I don't know. No, I'm kidding. It's been kind of hot, real hot, and I'm having a hard time catching. I like to crankbait fish and stuff like that, and I've really spent a lot of time doing that, and I hadn't done very good. So I'm going to have to change up and kind of keep practicing that on the first day of the tournament. Sometimes that works out. You never know. After 5 to weigh about 12 to 15 pounds. We'll hunt them.
Go second.
No idea what's going on up here. We are catching a ton of fish. Unfortunately, we got a 14-inch size limit, so catching keepers is going to be the key. Yesterday, I easily caught 100 fish in practice, fishing shallow, fishing deep, everywhere in between. Everything you do, you can catch fish, but the key is going to be to get those 14-inch keepers. Out of 100 fish yesterday, maybe had 7 or 8 keepers. So it's going to be tough. You're going to have to weed through a lot of fish, but it's going to be a lot of fun doing it.